You're listening to The Wolf Condition. I'm Asena. If you've made it to episode 3, you're officially part of the group of people who don't just hear information, you can also sense it. You read pause, tone, timing, and energy. You pick up on what someone means to say long before they even say it. And today, I want to tell you a little about why I'm here. And it's not going to be in a dramatic way or a trauma dump way, but just enough to give you context as to why this podcast exists and why I see the world the way I see it. People imagine that choosing yourself comes from a super grand moment, but for me it didn't. It was super simple, quiet. It just was so clear, and I didn't have a meltdown or a crisis this time, or some cinematic turning point after some burnout. But I just stopped betraying my own clarity, because we all get those small signals, the gut feeling, the tightness, the shift in tone, when someone says something that just doesn't line up. And for most of my life, I pushed those signals. I tolerated what just didn't feel right. And I waited for more proof, more signs, more reassurance or justification. Then one day, I finally trusted the first sign, and it wasn't dramatic. It was actually peaceful. I chose myself before anything fell apart. I didn't wait until I finally burned out and I just couldn't do it anymore. And that one decision changed my entire trajectory of my life. My name Asena connects to wolf. It's not a mystical fantasy thing, but it's a symbolic, it's a pattern-based way. Wolves survive by noticing what others ignore. They pick up on the smallest shift in the environment, and they don't wait for someone else's permission to move. When I learned the meaning of my name, it clicked instantly, because it wasn't a new identity. It was the one I had been living in without realizing it. And this podcast exists because that pattern keeps showing up in my conversations, in my relationships, in every chapter of my life. And the wolf is observation, instinct, and quiet intelligence. And that's what I want to teach people and other people to lean into. Here's the thing, I have trauma in my past. It's not the cute kind, not the buzzword kind. It's the real, shaping kind. But this podcast is not about that. My trauma is something I have processed, I've healed, I've integrated, and it shaped my instincts, yes. But the story of it belongs to me. And I don't want anyone to listen to this show because they relate to my pain or anything like that. I want them to listen because they relate to their own clarity. This world does not need another trauma-centered space. And I believe we need more spaces where we talk about how to recognize these patterns early, how to protect your energy before you lose time, how to read behaviors without needing crisis, and how to just trust yourself. Sharing my story in detail is not what helps others, but helping you see things sooner does. Helping you understand human behavior